Gibson Jimerson. Congratulations, Coach. Whenever you're ready, we'll take an opening statement, and then we'll go to questions for the players.
Obviously, an extremely hard-fought game on both sides. An extremely emotional game. Both teams making big plays, both teams making runs. I'm just glad we came up with one more point. But we got a lot of respect for St. Bonaventure and their team and what all they've accomplished. And obviously, Schmidt does an incredible job. He's built that a great program. And we knew the challenge at hand. They were the reigning champions. We knew the challenge at hand. And I was glad our guys responded, but we talked about this was going to be an all-out battle. We knew that. We wanted it to be. And both teams made big plays. Really proud of our team for finishing the game out. Because that obviously could have went either way, but to lose the lead late, and then be able to get back and win the game, really impressed with these guys and the effort that they put forth. But that was a hard-fought game, to say the least.
Questions for the players? Mike, please, right here on the edge. Go ahead, sir.
Stu Durando, St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Gibson, it looked like, I don't know if it was about 5-6 minutes left, you may have done something, jammed a finger, hurt your hand, but then obviously came up with two of the biggest shots of the game. Was your hand feeling okay? I assume it was, and just talk about those shots.
Yeah, one of their players just deflected it off my finger, and it jammed a little bit, but it didn't really affect me. I mean, I was able to get some looks at the end of the game and knock them down, and those are the moments that you want at, this time in March. So I'm just happy I could help my team get the win. No, it's off. Yeah, left hand.
Question? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Daniel Frank from A10 Talk. Gibson, could you just talk about that last play on the offensive end where you had like 2 or 3 different possessional chances there, and you finally got one shot to go. What was going through your mind? Kind of what you see in that play as kind of Bon had gotten 2 stops, and you finally got the third try to go?
Yeah, we ran the same kind of out-of-bounds play, I think, 2 or 3 times in a row, and they guarded it, the first 2 times well, and I just adjusted. I didn't set a screen. I just slipped it out and was able to get the ball and just rose up and made the shot. So, I just kind of made that little adjustment there, and I was able to get it in my spot and knock it down. Yuri found me, so, yep.
Questions for Gibson or Yuri in the back, please?
John Titel from hoopshd.com. For either of you, what's going through your mind when the Bonnies step up to the line with 1.8 seconds left and a chance to win it? And have you ever been in that situation yourself?
Just finish the game off. We don't know if he's going to miss 2, if he's going to make 2, miss 1, make 1. It's still time on the clock, and we got to do whatever we got to do to finish the game up.
Go ahead, sir, on the aisle again.
Yuri made a lot of big plays last 10 minutes or so going to the basket. Sometimes stuff wasn't there. How when you're in those situations and you're trying to run the offense in a tight game, are those tough decisions in terms of when to go, when to not go, and when to try and force something? Or just talk about how those times play out for you in your mind.
I mean, when the game on the line, I want the ball in my hands. My team want the ball in my hands, and the coaches want the ball in my hands. They give me the confidence to make the play. And, I mean, if the defense going to give me the bucket, that's what I'm going to take. So, I mean, down those stretches, I'm just playing basketball, playing my game, taking what the defense going to give me.
In the front row, please.
That first half, Francis really came out and took the tone on the interior of you guys. I mean, you finished with 14 points and 12 rebounds, I believe. Tell me what he was able to do in that first half to really get you guys established on the interior.
I mean, Franco, he don't get the credit he deserves. 14 and 12. He had a double-double yesterday. He a big part of our team. Without Franco, we wouldn't be in this position. So much respect to him. But, I mean, he a big presence inside. There ain't too many bigs in the conference much better than him. So we going to rock with Franco all day.
Any other questions for the players? Gentlemen, we'll let you go back to your locker room. Thank you very much. And now, Coach, questions for Coach Ford. Yeah, right here. Yes, sir.
Travis, what in that situation there with Lofton shooting the two, and he was able to get his hands on the second miss, but what did you tell the guys in terms of how to play that in the event something like that happened?
An event of what happens? Or?
That he missed the second one, basically. I mean.
Yeah. Well, we told our guys to be prepared for that. We had a little bit of time. They were looking at it, so we talked about a couple of things. That was one of them. But I thought he stepped over the guy shooting the free throw can't run in until the ball hits the rim. And I still don't even know what they were looking at, if who was it out on or what the time was. And I'm trying to get an answer. And but no, we actually just practiced that on Wednesday. We actually or Tuesday, that exact scenario. And on both sides, in case we need to do it, in case another team to do it. It just so happens we worked on it on Tuesday. I wouldn't say we executed it exactly right, but it's kind of hard when a guy runs in there before they're supposed to. But, sometimes you're on the right side, sometimes you're not, and we're on the right side today.
Go ahead in the front row, right here.
Coach, Jack Milka with A10 Talk. Congrats on a great victory. Obviously, it came down to the free throws, but what do you think was the difference in this game for your team?
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody would concentrate for it, but that's a 40-minute game. Always, our defense was the difference. We stayed up a long time studying our two games, and we made some adjustments. We changed some things, and we looked, and all right, we got to figure a few things out here on both ends. We had to change a few things on both ends. But to hold a team of St. Bonaventure's caliber on offense to 38% from the field and 25% from three, that's, it can't get any better than that. And our defense hasn't, most of my years in St. Louis, defense has led us. We've been at the top of the league in defense, at the top of the league. Now we're the leading scoring team in the A10, but our numbers on defense haven't been what I liked at all. The last two games, our numbers have been right, and it's been, guys have executed it. From the VCU game, really, our defense has been better.
And I also have a follow-up question real quick. Obviously, Jimerson has been tremendous, and he took a huge step forward, and just his offensive game shined tonight. You want to comment on his game?
Yeah, I mean, Gibson has gotten better every year. When Javante Perkins went down, we knew that he was a candidate to, all right, somebody's got to get some shots here. He was a candidate. We had other guys. But I just love the mentality. Everybody wants to talk about, yes, he's shooting mid-ranges now. He used to just be a three. Yes, he's gotten to the free throw line. Yeah, I just love the mentality, the toughness that he plays with, because every single game we play, everybody's job is to stop Yuri Collins and Gibson Jimerson. We know that. We expect it. We work on it. And he still comes through. He still comes through. And nobody works harder than he does. I get to the office pretty early every morning, very early, and he's usually beat me there getting shots up. So it's not a shock when you work hard that good things happen. It's not any secret recipe. He deserves some success of how hard he works at it.
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Coach. Carter Chapley, scoopswithdailymac.com. We can talk about Francis Okoro's offensive game. The stats kind of speak for themselves and how effective he was. But Oshuna, he didn't get his first field goal until 2 minutes left in the game. Is that something you challenged him or game planned for? Or is that just Francis having a complete...
Yeah, I mean, he had a big game on his last. Osuna had a 20 on his last time, I think, and so we obviously watched. They watched that. They saw it. We talked about it. That it's not easy. It's one thing to talk about it, and another thing to be able to go out and do it. He just his overall numbers were great, and. He's a big part of our team, and I agree with Yuri. People don't talk about him enough, and I think since mid-February on, I don't know if there's been too many better. He's played amazing for us.
Two final questions, right here and then the guy in the front row. Go ahead.
Coach Jason Wolf from the Buffalo News. Congratulations on the win. Curious what you learned along those lines, what you learned from the first two games this season in the regular season. And again, if there was a particular plan or strategy that you had in mind to limit Oshun in the paint.
Well, I'm not going to get into specifics, but we turned the ball over. We turned it over again tonight. But we talked a lot about on the offensive end how many times we turned it over the last two games, and even to have a chance, we thought we couldn't do it again, but we did it. But you know, we made a few adjustments defensively that just studying that we took a chance on a little bit. We were taking a chance, but we stuck with it. We talked about it through the night, got up again this morning, and really stuck with it. And we had a great little walkthrough this morning with our team. And, it's hard, playing somebody three times. It's hard. Usually when you're on the losing end, you make a lot more adjustments than you do on the other end. And we made quite a few, actually. We made quite a few on both ends. Changed up a lot in a matter of 16 hours.
Last question, quickly, please, sir.
I'm Aaron Robinson, All Facts Media. You guys have an exceptional program at St. Louis yourself, but obviously those guys with their group of seniors and the success that they've had over the last 2 years, winning the league. I mean, just for you, what does it mean to be able to beat those guys today, and what does that say about your program going forward?
Well, the reason it's a big win is because it's against a team that has been dominant in our league the last several years. And actually, I talked to our team about that last night, about the respect of St. Bonaventure. They kicked our tails twice, and they're a good basketball team, and they've won a lot of games. I said they're reigning champions. Those guys have – I like their team. I like that they've done it the right way. Those guys have come up through the program. They stuck with the program. They didn't transfer out, like most people do these days, and they listened to their coach. They've gotten better every year. Those guys came in and got better every single year. I got a lot of respect for it. I got a lot of respect for their players. I got a lot of respect. We played them last time at their place, and as it came down to the very, very end, and they beat us. And as we were leaving, I was one of the last ones out, and I look in the gym, and there's Attaway shooting. And I would walk out there, and I sit there, and I talk to him and tell him the respect I have for him for what he was doing right there. He deserved it. I said, you deserve to be a first-team all-league player. You could maybe be the player of the year in this league, possibly. You're going to have a chance to make a lot of money because of what you're doing right now. I got a lot of respect for their team, a lot of respect for their coach and what they've accomplished.
Coach, thank you very much. We'll let you go back to your
Thank you.
locker room now.
Thank you.
We'll be joined here shortly by St. Bonaventure. And as we've done for our other press conferences, we'll allow Coach Schmidt to make an opening statement, and then we'll go to questions for Oshun and for Jalen, please. You first. Go ahead.
Okay, great game. Give our guys credit. We didn't play great, we didn't execute, but I thought we couldn't have played harder. Get down by 7 or 9, and we fought back, and it was a really good college basketball game. It's a shame everybody's going to look at the last, 1.8 seconds and so forth. And I always say to our players, no game is won or lost at the last possession. There's a number of possessions throughout the game, but all the credit goes to the 5 seniors. Everybody loses. Most everybody, their career ends on a loss, unless you win the national championship or you're a really bad team and you didn't get to the tournament. But I'm proud of these guys and what they represent, to their families, to our program. They've had, Shun 4 years, Jalen 3 years. It's been a pleasure. Life is not fair all the time. Sometimes you get a curveball thrown at you, but these guys will bounce back. And credit to St. Louis for making the plays and beating us today. And we wish them luck. But our guys will bounce back, and these guys will be really, really successful.
Questions for the players, please. Raise your hand. Question for the players. Yeah, go ahead. The guy in the maroon shirt, please. Go ahead.
Hey, Jason Wolf with the Buffalo News. Tough game today, guys. Oshun, for you, was curious, you didn't take your first shot from the field until a little over 2 minutes were remaining. What was it that they were doing to you on defense that kind of affected your game?
They were just push me out of position, just getting me out of my comfort zone, so I wasn't able to get to my spots and make my moves.
I think we had a question. Somebody had their hand up right here in the front yard. Go ahead.
Aaron Robertson, All Facts Media. For both you guys, first, congrats on a great season, great careers. But for you guys, obviously, just looking back at the run over the last 2 years, I don't know if you guys have even considered using the 5th year or not, but just what will you remember most if this is your last game? I mean, what do you look forward to as far as just the highs and the lows over the last 2 seasons?
I think just like, the countless hours we spent together, on and off the court. It's been amazing with the amazing coaching staff, all the players, managers, and, people who work for the school. It's just been amazing to actually spend time with these great people and, all these experiences and memories that we have to leave with, which is, something that is just, priceless in my eyes. I know it's priceless to all of us, but, just spending all the time together, working hard, working towards our goals, something I'll always be thankful for.
Question in the back. Go ahead, sir.
Jalen, I know you stayed on the court a little bit to, watch the St. Louis players celebrate. What were you thinking in that moment when you were watching that?
There was probably a million different things running through my head, but just playing great players and a great coach, St. Louis. It sucks for us to not win. So there's just a million things running through my head.
You have a question? Somebody here have their hand up right here on the aisle, please. Get the mic to him. Go ahead, sir.
JP Butler from the Times Herald. Appreciate you guys. You had 2 pretty good offensive games against them in the back-to-back games in the regular season. Obviously, you had 83 on them in the Riley Center. And today it was just more of a kind of rock fight defensive game. But what do you think the biggest difference was in just kind of the struggles to score today?
Coach says it all the time, tournament games is completely different, it's just everything's completely different. It's less possessions, neutral site, everything like that. Credit St. Louis, they got us out of position, got us out of our comfort zone. We were off balance a lot. They're a good team, they're rugged. We knew it was going to be a dogfight, and I said credit to them. They played a good game today.
Is there any final
Just to
follow-up?
Again, as Coach said, it doesn't come down to just that last 1.8, but I guess just how tough is it when you guys are such a good free throw shooting team? You pride yourselves on that. Does it sting, a little bit more, just not getting them in that moment?
Yeah, it stings. I mean, it hurts. I had 2 shots to possibly put the game away. Kyle had a chance to basically win the game or tie the game. Both of us have been in the gym for hours, every single day working on that. So just didn't, go our way today. It hurts a lot more in the situation of how we lost, seniors, and could possibly be our last game together. So all the emotions that you could imagine is going through our head right now. It hurts.
Is there a final question for the players? No. Well, you can get them after in the hallway, sir. I need to let them go back to their locker room. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Go ahead. We'll release you back to the locker rooms, and we'll keep Coach here with us. Questions for Coach Schmidt, please. Go ahead, sir.
Coach Jack Milko with 810 Talk. Just before you guys came in, Travis told a great story about after your game back in February at the Riley Center. And he talked about how when he left the floor, he was one of the last players to leave the floor, and he looked over, and there was Attaway continuing to work, continuing to put in the hours in. And where I'm going with this is Attaway, again tonight, was one of the last players to leave the floor, and he put in a terrific effort. So I was just wondering if you could comment on his work ethic and his overall play.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on recruiting guys that love to be in the gym, and he epitomizes that. Never satisfied. He became a first-team All-League player by his work ethic. He's got some God-given abilities, the ability to jump and so forth, but he's got a great work ethic, and all of our guys do. As Shun says, Kyle and Shun and all those 5 starters, they're in the gym all the time. Gym rats, and that's one of the reasons why we've had the success that we've had. The guys aren't here for the social life. They've come here to get an education, but to maximize their abilities as basketball players, and they've done that. And Jalen is a great example.
I just have one more for you. Obviously, the last few seconds were very difficult, but in the grand scheme of things, it is a 40-minute game. What did you think the difference was?
You knew it was going to be like this. Both games, at their place and at our place, they were tightly contested games. In tournament games, you don't have an opportunity to shoot here, so it's going to be more of a defensive-oriented game. You're not going to shoot the ball great. That's just the way it goes. And so we knew it was going to be a tough physical game, and that's what it was. Both teams. It wasn't great execution. It was great, defense, and it was physical. The refs let us play for the most part, but we knew that's who we were playing and what type of game it was going to be. We're not surprised, that was 57-56.
Right here, go ahead, sir.
Hi, Coach. Daniel Frank from A10 Talk. Obviously, still very fresh after this game, and obviously the NIT is not the tournament that you all were obviously hoping to be in, but this league has seen some great success in the NIT with GW winning it in 2016. Richmond had a good run last year. Is that something that you've talked to your guys about after the game, or looking ahead of, hey, we can still put some wins together in a possible tournament setting?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, but we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. And if the guys are willing to play in that. When I was an assistant at Xavier, we went to the NIT and went to the Final Four and played in Madison Square, and it was one of the greatest experiences of my life, So, if we have the opportunity to do that, I would think that we would take it.
In the back, go ahead, sir.
Coach, from your perspective, what did St. Louis do to, negate Oshun as an offensive factor compared to the first 2 games?
Well, Shun's not a back-to-the-basket guy. All the stuff he gets is on rolls and dunks and offensive rebounding, and they did a good job of getting the ball deep against them. We had a much easier time in game 1 and game 2. We didn't get those lobs that we got in game 1 and in game 2. He's not a guy that we can throw the ball into and he's going to back. He's not that type of player. But they did a good job on ball screen defense and made it a little bit more difficult for us.
In the front row.
Aaron Robertson, All Facts Media. Coach, have you had any conversations with any of your seniors about potentially coming back for the 5th year?
No.
And obviously, for a guy like Kyle, just to have that moment at the end of the game where he missed the 2 free throws to win it. Obviously, he's been somebody that has tremendous success over his career here at St. Bonaventure. What was your message to him, or what was the team message to him after the game to kind of pick him up?
Yeah, it's like, one play doesn't define you. And, he's been everything to our program, to me as the head coach. He epitomizes everything that we want in a player. A good student, keeps his nose clean socially, is a hard worker. He was a captain for 4 years, good name captain as a freshman. And it hurts, it stings. It'd be one thing if he didn't put time in. He lives in the gym, and he's one guy that deserves to make those foul shots. But as I said in the opening statement, life is not fair all the time, and his teammates, the coaching staff, they all know how important he is. We wouldn't be in this situation. We wouldn't have been the 4th seed without him. So I told him he has nothing to apologize for. We're here. A big reason is because of what he's done for us.
We'll make that the final question for Coach. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.